but I have to right now. I'm sitting on my sofa. I was about to go to sleep, but then I saw something happening. And if you're actually here and you can see me, just give me a quick like or something so that I see that someone is here and that this thing is actually working, because sometimes YouTube shows me live and then it's still nobody can see me. So I hope I did all the settings wrong. Yeah, so I see the first person. Awesome, so we're live. This is about the wildfires, the Spokane wildfires specifically, because I have made 2 videos about that. So I see your comments. Hi everyone, Picnic, Fair Use, Craig, Matt. Hey everyone, awesome that you're already here. 54 people. We need to talk about this because my videos about the wildfire in Spokane, what I was trying to explain is why are the houses burning like they do and what is actually happening there. So my first video, you might have seen it, was about ember. Why are there green trees around these totally wiped out houses? And this is a phenomenon that we not only see in Spokane, we also see this in other wildfires. And then you guys had question. One of my viewers was asking, why is it turned into ashes? Why don't we see like 10, 20, 30 years ago, bathtubs still in the rubble, or we see other stuff still in the rubble? So I was trying to explain that from a scientific point of view. And in the first video already, good morning, guys. Yeah, you ask what's up, Silky. Guys, I tell you what's up. Because maybe you have read the comments underneath my videos. They were insane. So they were like insulting, and I'm a paid government spy, and I'm the devil, and I don't even know what else. And so that I'm just against every correct theory or whatever. And so I feel the need, because my video was like dislike, 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 and I'm unsubscribing. People that watched my channel for quite a long time. And I'm reading you one comment that I just saw under my second video from Brian. He says, been watching you for a long time, but this one ended it. I can't believe how a truth era can't see the truth. Love you, wish you the best, but wow, tires don't melt. They can't unless there's a fuel source hot enough to do so. You would have to have a flame constantly under all 4 tires in order to do that. Research more closely. Hope you see the truth. With you the best. Much love. This is one of the nice comments, right? So Brian, I hope you're seeing this. TB answered she's going to lose a lot of reviewers over this. She needs to stick with earthquakes and volcanoes. Guys, this channel is not only about earthquakes and volcanoes. As you might have noticed, I'm reporting about everything Earth, from flooding, landslides, fires, volcanoes, earthquakes, tsunamis, you name it, avalanches. So we have all that. So yeah, Rob, you say directed energy weapon. You know, if you have seen these 2 videos, I'm not actually talking about what caused the fires, but I'm trying to explain, because many of you have asked that. Why are the houses burned? Why are there still green trees around the houses? Or again, why are there no bathtubs anymore? So I tried to explain this. My first video was about ember and how ember works, and that ember can basically arrive at your house a mile before the fire even comes. And I explained how ember can light up houses, and that actually the house is the better fuel than, especially if trees are around houses, they're landscaped, they're watered, they're moist, right? So, but I got attacked. And you know, I have not said anything about the theories going around. They need land for data centers. It's HARP. It's a laser weapon, the blue roof theory, then the smart meter theory that blows up the houses. HARP, did I mention? Governments, depopulation. So I have not talked about any of this. I'm just talking, okay, you know, but I'm being attacked for this, like not recognizing these theories and being paid by the government to do whatever. I don't really know, guys. So the thing here is, let's say these homes have been ignited by a laser, by a HARP, by a satellite, by aliens, by the government, by smart meters, by I don't know what else, solar flares, whatever. The house is burning for whatever reason, right? So why are the trees green? You get what I'm saying? Why are the trees green? So whatever the reason is why that house is on fire, all the theories that are out there, I don't condemn any of them, but I'm explaining why the trees are green, right? So, and why the houses burn so fast, what the houses are built of. Maybe you've seen my video. Check out these 2 videos that I've made about the fire. And so, since there were so many questions, I made a second one, and I knew, right? I knew, okay, this is going to cause another shitstorm. But the comments were so mean, and I saw it right away. Usually my channel has like a 99% like rate of the videos, and this after a few minutes went down to 95, and you can see people unsubscribed. So I had minus subscribers, and even channel members said they're leaving. I explained in that video, it's only 3.5 minutes long, that older homes have steel bathtubs, for example. In the horse industry, they're still, which I have horses, right? They're still using the old bathtubs as water troughs for the horses. So steel, thank you very much for that super. Thank you so much. Yeah, so these bathtubs, steel. I explained everything about the temperature at which material melts. We see steel bathtubs remaining in older homes, but newer homes, look at your bathtub. It's plastic, it's vinyl, it melts. So that's why these modern wood houses, they're quite flat. You see the chimney still standing, right? We saw in California last year in the Palisades fire, we saw more steel beams in the rubble because it seems more houses were built with steel beams than with scissor trusses or wood frames, right? So this is the only thing I was trying to do. Whatever set these houses on fire, this is how they burned, why they burned, right? Why now we see like melted aluminum on cars that stand next to these fires. Doesn't matter. If the laser lit the house on fire, it still burns, right? And I'm explaining why you see that burned house. And so me explaining why there's still green trees and explaining that physics, right? Physics has nothing to do with what ignited the house in the first place. And because again, if smart meters ignited the home, why are the trees still green? You get what I'm saying? If a laser ignited the home, why are the trees still green? You still need a physical explanation. In the Spokane fire, they have arrested a guy for arson. Pretty crazy story, by the way. The guy had kind of murdered his father. It's still a miracle why the guy wasn't behind bars. Nancy, yeah, green grass still around the homes. Yes, because that is watered. And I want to, hey, Boomerang, hey, everyone. So great to see so many of you. We have 550 people. That's awesome. It's 11 p.m. here where I am. I want to tell you a quick story, and I've read a lot of comments from people that were affected by the wildfires that actually explained that. I've been on a ranch 3 years ago. I know the ranch pretty well. The ranch is in Canada, pretty large ranch, lots of outbuildings, lots of buildings, 2 homes, big barns and everything. And that terrible wildfire, one of these terrible wildfires in Canada. So you don't get insurance where that place is. So you have to stay behind and ignore the evacuation order and fight for your buildings. So that guy that I know did that and stayed there and was filming. And the embers came before the flame came, but the flame front was dark pink. The forest behind the ranch, the pictures were brutal. And he said he had a mask on. He had to hide behind one of his buildings because when the fire came, everything was black and ash and particles. It was really, really bad. But they saw the fire was coming, and ember set selected buildings on fire. So they were filming this and they were trying to extinguish the ember, but the buildings, older wood buildings, they burned. But after the fire was gone, now we have, out of 15 buildings, we probably have 8 that burned. And I know the place physically. So we have behind the burned down house, probably 10, 15 feet, we have a green hedge, totally green, with grass and trees, as if nothing happened. They're not even dusty or anything, because the wind seemed to be so extreme that it was blowing the dust off these trees. We have green grass. It's amazing. And next to it, we have a completely burned down structure. So this is real. This is not something that I'm inventing because I'm paid by the government. But even that, let's say, the government wants a land grab for data center. This is one of the theories that's going around. Let's say I've seen the maps that where it's burning in Spokane, they're planning a data center there. But let's say I'm not judging your theories. Let's say you want to build a data center there, and you say, I mean, let's burn this down. Then we can make a land grab. Why are the trees still green? Right? So it still needs an explanation. Why are the houses so burned to rubble? It still needs an explanation. And I'm telling you, I've shown the video on my X site and on my Facebook site of a safe that is still in the rubble, and the steel safe is intact, right? People were trying to open it because it's the same thing, like with the bathtub. So this is all I did in these videos. Hey, Tom, thanks. That's actually cool. Hey, I should do more lives with the leaf there. That's actually very, very interesting. So I thought I need to clarify that, even by risking a bigger shitstorm. But I find it kind of sad to see that viewers that have been viewing my channel for years, they think they need to unsubscribe because of that. And I've seen this before whenever I'm trying sometimes to explain some science or physics or something behind it. Hey, Victoria, thank you. I'm getting these shitstorms. And but that's part of this channel, right? I'm reporting about the disasters, and when I'm reporting about earthquakes, I'm trying to explain this is the fault line, this could be the reason, this could be what it is, right? I'm trying to, and I know there's other reason out there for earthquakes, volcanic eruptions. Some believe it's solar flares, some believe it's, I don't know. I'm trying to give you the status quo of proven science that is there. I mean, and then you make your own judgment. Do you believe that or do you not? So this is part of the channel. I'm open for everything you guys have to say, and there's often comments, interesting theories with explanations, right? Hey, thank you so much. My cats, this is what appears here in the chat. I don't know if that name is even longer. Blue Lagoon, yeah, Blue Lagoon, right? The Lagoonies. That was another controversy that really, really the shizzy hit the fizzy for my channel when I was talking about the Blue Lagoon. Maybe you guys, hey, that's really cool with the DJ cat. I didn't know that this is possible. Rick, direct energy weapons. Guys, explain me your theories, right? Explain how this works and what is done. And the same thing with the blue roofs and anything. But still, the house is burned, the trees are green. And I'm trying to explain why they are green. And I know a lot of people, ranchers, horse barns, people that unfortunately lost their places in these wildfires. And I've seen their videos that they have made while they were fighting these fires. And it's heartbreaking, but I've been live with them. I've seen the fires come basically, and I see the green trees afterwards, right? And I see the houses turn to rubble. One had an older guest house. So you see like a steel framed bed, for example, that is still in the rubble, a steel stove, but the rest, and I've been in that house, the rest is flat. It's flat. And that's in the middle of nowhere. This is nowhere where you'd build a data center or a 15-minute city or anything, right? It happens. So that's why I thought it might be interesting to look into this and explain it. So yeah, it's really cool that there's so many people of you here watching, and that we can discuss this. And it's I'm trying to take every comment serious, and I'm reading all your comments, and I try to explain or answer as many comments as possible, and also answer your questions. And so that's why I made the second video about the Spokane wildfire, because you did have a lot of questions about this. So every theory that I read, I take it seriously. And even if it sounds crazy and whatever, I research it and I say, hey, is this true? And then I try to explain it. I once did this with the cloud seeding, for example, where I have a friend that always posts skies on Facebook and said, for years now, they're seeding the clouds, they're blocking the sun. And I thought, that's kind of crazy. I think I like her, but she's kind of crazy. Until I had the time to do some research, and I was hopping around on scientific sites where it was confirmed that they do this actually, but also on government sites. And then I was surprised that it was a county website in Oregon where there was a section about, if you own a ranch there, how you can do your own cloud seeding. And I was like, I can't, what? You can buy a plane and do your own cloud seeding. It sounds really crazy. So I looked further into it, and that's why I made the video for you guys as a cloud seeding. That's another nice sticker. It's really cool. I like this. Tanko Inc. Do I say that right? Cool. That's really cool. I love it. So yeah, I'm open for everything. And but I think I'm not looking into all the theories that started the wildfire, because if I start making videos about that, I think it's getting even worse. But yeah, I think this is what kind of needed to be said. I felt, because the really nasty comments, the really I'm on starts with an A and a whole. I'm like that, and I'm like I'm possessed by Satan and the devil for trying to explain why the trees are green. Some of the comments I delete. You have to moderate, but I'm trying to leave as many as possible, and it would be more productive, I think, if someone would say, instead of saying, well, I'm unsubscribing, I've had it now, what's wrong with my theory? Explain to me what's wrong with my theory and what is right with your theory, right? If it is the smart meters, how does it work, right? Why do the smart meters, I have to get back to Brian here, who talks about that all 4 tires are melted. Okay, let's say it was the smart meter or the laser or the government or whatever. They don't go to every house and put flammable whatever underneath every house, right? If they do it with a laser, why are every 4 tires melted? What's the difference with laser ignition and ember ignition, for example, right? So I'm open to every explanation that makes actually sense. So thank you, Renate. She says, please keep it up. Yeah, I think this channel is about discussion. And that's what I love about you guys in the comments. When we have a topic, we discuss it, right? We have a back and forth, and sometimes we disagree or we do agree, but I encourage discussion in the comments. And I think this is really what makes this, right? It's, hey, the tulips. Thank you so much, Boomer. That looks really cool. Let's read some comments. Yeah, you say they compared the recent fires to old fires. It's completely different. Yeah, I couldn't read. The chat moves so fast. I couldn't read what exactly you mean with that. But what I try to explain is homes are built different these days. One thing that might be interesting for you, that I figured out, because, I'm originally from Europe and I've always lived in brick homes. So the fire thing wasn't such a topic like it is here in the wood framed homes. And the interesting thing is, if you have an older home, from the moment the fire starts, you have 14 minutes, they say, to get out of the home. In newer homes, you have 7 to 8 minutes. So that is what I try to explain. The older wood frames are made of slower growing wood, that has more moisture, and it burns not that fast. And modern homes, they burn faster and they have more stuff in it that ignites, which is kind of scary, because 7 minutes from the fire breakout, let's say you're sleeping, takes a while until, hopefully, if you have it, your fire alarm goes off. If you don't have a sprinkler system, so fire alarm goes off, you already lost a few seconds, then you wake up and then you have to orient yourself, and then you have 7 minutes, right? This is sometimes shocking. I've seen sometimes videos where, like, big mansions, like multi-million-dollar homes, where you think they would have better fire protection. People died in the homes. They burned in the homes because they couldn't get out. This always what baffles me. So, yeah, modern homes, kiln-dried wood, exactly. That's what it is. And that's what I tried to explain. An interesting fact also was the embers, how they get into your home through like attic vents or stuff like this, and then they burn your home from the inside out and ignite it. So I find this an interesting topic. So whenever I see a tragedy happening, or if it's a landslide, right, like in Blatten in Switzerland, or even the Blue Lagoon in Iceland. Thank you, my cats. That's a cool gift, the cool cat with the hat. I'm lucky that my two doggies, Eddie and Woody, that they're so silent and that they're not barking around, which they normally do. And yeah, the wildfire smoke has also caught up with where I am. It's not nearly as bad as it is in Eastern Washington or Eastern Oregon, Eastern British Columbia. And tomorrow the wind is turning and we get wind from the sea, which unfortunately blows it all inland again. So we will be clear here on the coast. But it is what it is, right? I mean, I'm not saying that there's never a government that does like how we call this in German, we say heißer Abbruch, like a hot demolition, right? Let's set something on fire to burn it down because we need the land. But the data center theory that is in Spokane right now, I've seen the maps where they say there were 2 proposed locations for data centers, and now parts of that is burning. But I don't know, guys, maybe you know more than I do. I just tend to think there's so much land especially in Eastern Washington, where you can build. You don't need to burn down a neighborhood to do that. You can build. There's empty land, right? You can build these data centers. And the thing is, what can I say? Of course, there's going to be evil done with AI, with technology, with data centers. But we also have to think, our adversaries will use AI and they will use new technologies and supercomputing. So if countries don't catch up, then we might lose, right? So the AI war, let's say, that is going on, who's faster with supercomputing, you need data centers. You do. And even for the people, that like to make interesting memes or short videos with ChatGPT or Grok or Claude or whatever, they're using AI. You need computing power, and you need storage for that, right? So do I think we need to put them in urban centers? I don't think we should. I think when I thought about Washington, I thought, why don't they put them on the Hanford nuclear site? I mean, nobody ever wants to live there, so they're cleaning it up. Build data centers there, right? So that's just my 2 cents on that. We all like to use technology, and AI. It's basically just more computing power in a drastically reduced amount of time. AI is not not yet a person somewhat. It's still computing power to make analysis and conclusions in a way faster time, right? I mean, think about in the 1980s when we basically started out with the floppy disks and stuff like this, how big storage had to be and how far we've come, right? What our iPhones can do, what we all can do. Hey, Matt, I'm not in a hotel in Las Vegas. Las Vegas, wouldn't that be cool? Then I would have a fake Elvis here with me. We'd have a party. No, I'm not in Vegas, but I would like to. That would be cool, but probably very, very hot. Hot. Um, Lucifer hates humans and has been alive for a long time. Yeah, you know what? If you look at the world, how much evil there is, there must be a powerful something, or it's just us humans that are just so bad. Um, oh, yeah, we have to get out of Washington State before June 11th. Well, June 11th this year, what had already happened and nothing happened, right? Or is it now next year? um, yeah, Vegas is hot. And yeah, I'm just reading your comments. Yeah. Truth reckon your proposal for data centers. Yeah. Elon can dig tunnels and they can be below ground and naturally cooled. You know what? That was a thought that I just had today, actually. Driving my car, I was thinking, you need a lot of cooling. Why don't you build them first in more northern areas? Because there is in British Columbia, if you go further north, I think it's an island or an abandoned, I don't know what it even was, a factory building or something like this. And they built like a Bitcoin mining operation there because you need a lot of servers and you need to cool that, and it's naturally cooler there, so you need less energy. So yeah, in eastern Washington, smoke everywhere, can't even see the mountain on the horizon. Yeah, I absolutely believe it. I can see it from afar. And last year I was near Lake Chelan and I saw lightning ignite a fire there, which then turned out to be a huge fire, basically in the same area where it burns in Chelan right now. So and it is terrible, and I could watch it grow every day, and it got bigger and it got bigger. The smoke was everywhere. So your comments. Yeah, I'm near Mount Hood in Oregon, but from Spokane. We have our own fire grasshopper going on in Mount Hood. Yes, I've seen this. Yeah, and interestingly, there was even a wildfire in Newberg in Oregon. I was very surprised. I thought that's usually quite moist there, but yeah, I guess I have to say here in BC, coastal BC, the summer was actually quite wet. If I compare it with the years before, usually we don't have any rain in from mid-June till maybe mid-August or early August, but it has been raining quite a bit in July and June. So it's actually wetter, which is good because then the grass still keeps growing, so I don't need to buy so much hay. Eureka, California. Hi, Matt. Yeah. What else is here? A burn can have a job and a homeless man can be a gentleman. Of course, we will all be gone by 2050. And if you can see that coming by now, you need help. Well, hope is the last that dies, I would just say, right? I'm supposed to go skiing at Hood at the end of the month. Hopefully things have calmed down. Yeah, they're telling us now, I've just seen that today, that some of these wildfires, they expect them to burn way until November. Because the thing is, wildfire season usually September, August, this is when it starts. So we're quite early. That bad, right? Everywhere. It's really, really bad. So yeah, if there's no rain and no moisture, it seems the big ones, they can't extinguish them. We have a big one here in BC. There were two in Clinton, two big fires that actually joined together. Boring, Oregon. Yeah, I know that town. I've been there. The 10 horns are rising. They are ready to reveal the Antichrist. Get right with the Lord now. Well, it's always good to be right with the Lord, just in case. I would say preventable. Karna says preventable, but dollars. Yeah, forest management. I mean, Spokane was arson, definitely. But still, yeah, there's monocultures. I talked about this. Lots of fast growing trees that are replacing the old growth forests that keep the moisture in the ground. These fast growing trees, in my first video that I made about the Spokane fire, I showed you a video where I'm driving through the area where that big Clinton fire is burning right now in Canada. So I was wondering, I'm like, that's not natural. This is all fast growing monoculture. And I saw actually burned areas from wildfires, and I saw what they were replanting it with. And then I hear, I haven't verified that yet, that they're spraying the forest with glyphosate to keep the leafy trees away, so that this seems to help fuel these fires. I don't know. I have to look into this. So no judgment, nothing. It's not a statement, nothing, guys. Thank you, Cobalt. Thank you so much. MJ, hi to Australia. Yeah, you're worried what's coming for you. You have bad wildfires. Yeah, super El Nino. I've made a video about that. Maybe you have seen it. Atom, the West Coast shall be broken up. Well, we will see, right? It depends on what side you want to end up on. Carlan, Mother Nature makes sure to do the housekeeping when lazy. Yes, even the natives did do controlled burns. I mean, I've heard from experts from Norway, from Austria, that even Germany has quite an extensive forest management to get out old debris and stuff like this. And I have to say, where I was, the ranch that burned, my friend's ranch, not much forest management. I said to him when I was there, I said, I would take out these dead trees. I would cut down some trees that are so close to your buildings, to your chicken barn and stuff like this. So there were so many dead trees even in these monocultured, replanted forests that are on the ground, totally dry, that fuels everything. And when I saw the videos of how that fire came, like these intense pink flames that created this firestorm, it's absolutely insane. But even after that firestorm waltzed through, we have the green trees because it was lots of wind. The fire passed very, very fast. So not enough time to destroy the moisture layer of the tree, the bark, or everything to completely burn the tree down. But the dry homes, the dry wood. Even here, I have a neighbor that built a new barn, huge barn, with a wood siding. And I recently touched the wood, and the wood like almost pulverizes. This is like 3-4 years old. It's so dry. And I said, hey, if I even put a candle there, this thing will lit up. It will just burn. It's crazy. So not much attention to that, I think. Hey, Negos, Philippines. Great to have viewers from all over the world. That's really awesome. Kindly double tap the screen to like the video if you haven't. Water Tiger, thank you so much. And guys, are you interested in me doing more lives? So should I really maybe right now YouTube allows, if I make a spontaneous live with just my camera, I can only do a vertical live. But would you be interested in horizontal lives so that we can talk about everything that happened in a day? Earthquakes. There were earthquakes, by the way, along the West Coast, Oregon. So today, maybe you've seen it in the Bandon area again. That was not the Cascadia fault. And this is actually, if you look at the USGS maps, even if they're 4 point something, you click historic earthquakes, you see that there's so many earthquakes. So there's no really connection that we need to worry that San Andreas is now rupturing or Cascadia fault. So for now, I don't see any alarming signs there. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Amazing how many comments. It's amazing that it's almost midnight and so many of you are still here. I mean, many of you are from areas where it's probably earlier in the day. I'm a night owl, as you know. Yesterday, I had to be downtown, so there was a scheduled power outage, and they said power is out from 10 till, what was it? I think 7 a.m. And I'm like, that is bad, because this is when I make videos or when I release videos. So no power, no internet. So that was actually not good. They forgot to mention a tiny fact. So they were putting notes in the elevator about the power outage and unplug your devices, your fridge, your freezer, blah, 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 blah. What they didn't mention is you will also not have water. So I was thinking they would have a generator large enough to at least keep their pumps going. No, they had only one elevator going. And interestingly enough, since we're earthquake territory, thank you for the gift. I was thinking, what if the earthquake happens now? There's no power, there's no light, people are sitting in the dark. And then one thing, I had to walk the dog. So I take this one elevator down, and the stairwells that you have to take when there's an earthquake, the last door, like ground level, the last door without the power didn't open. So that night concierge that sits there had to manually open the door and put a wood piece underneath. What if we have the big one, the earthquake, and God forbid the concierge gets hit by something that falls on him and he can't open that door? A whole tower runs down the stairs and then the last door doesn't open. Yesterday, I was like, that is insane. That is actually insane. Not even the door to the outside opened. I could get outside, but I couldn't get back in. So I needed someone to open that door. So what if help wants to get in, right? These are big doors. It was kind of crazy. Georgia, yeah, I know. You're late, so you're a night owl. We are very dependent on electricity. Yes, we are. We are. And that's what I always say. Maybe you have seen my video that I made. This is a total different topic about the alien announcement. The Bank of England has made a study, not whether aliens are here or not. That was not the topic. But they said, if we were to announce, like public official government announcement, they're here, they're among us, panic would break out. People would go nuts, loot the supermarket, riot on the streets. And I was thinking, wow, human psychology is kind of crazy, right? We just need something and we're going nuts. So let's say we don't have electricity, the lights go out. I think after a few days, we're at each other's throats. We've seen during the virus how we've been at each other's throats about toilet paper. So yeah, it worries me. In terms of the big earthquake, when that hits the West Coast, the Cascadia Fault, the big cities, I'm worried because nobody here is used to earthquakes, right? We don't really have them. California is used to earthquakes, at least smaller ones, and Japan, very, very used. People stay calm, they know what to do, they get out of the buildings, they're very civilized. But I really worry here that I don't know what's going to break loose, but it won't be good. So let's see your comments. Good morning. It's 8:30 in Central Europe. Yes, you're 9 hours. You're 9 hours ahead. That I know here. Where in Europe are you, Yanni? Dazi Marie said that's why they can't tell us the whole truth about anything. Some could handle it, others would flip out. Yes. I mean, think about. I thought about this recently because I had discussions with friends. Are humans really that good? And I sometimes doubted that we're that good. I mean, we need laws, we need draconic punishments, police, military, even, the boundaries of our religions to keep us in check. Because if we didn't have that, what would we do, right? If today there was no punishment, no court, no jail, no nothing, what do you think would happen? So that was a kind of philosophical discussion that I just had recently, and that worries me if we have a big natural disaster, because the Cascadia Fault here on the West Coast, nobody's prepared. People don't even know about this. I said this yesterday when I was down there during the power outage to the girl that works as a night concierge there, and I said, well, if the big earthquake comes, we'll be shizzy hit the fizzy if the building is in that condition. She looks at me, earthquake. I'm like, you do know about the big one, do you? No. I'm like, okay, great. you're well prepared. This is going to work. Yeah. This is, I'm thinking about this a lot, right? I mean, I'm reporting about all these earthquakes. Yesterday I thought, well, if the big one hits now, and I'm here downtown when it happens with the building that prepared, at least my phone is still charged. I can make a video for you guys. But basically, even if you live and you need a generator or something, not a diesel generator, but you need something to get electricity. So the whole tower was down yesterday, but there was one light. One place had lights. I thought, there's some elites in the tower that have access to electricity. It was kind of weird. But yeah, 1-3 in the morning in Texas. Don't mess with Texas. Hello to Texas. I hope you guys are doing good. It's been a rough year with natural disasters in Texas. I've lived in Austin for a while. In, how did they call it, the bushes? Something like that. So not downtown, outside. So I love Texas. So what else are you saying? Ignorance is the best protection. I don't know. How do you mean that? I mean, sometimes I envy people that don't know or that are not educated enough about what's going on. They live a more quiet, peaceful life. I can tell you, if you don't know that you're sitting on the Cascadia Fault that could produce a magnitude 9 point whatever and a tsunami within 15 minutes, you live with less fear, right? Whenever I'm in an elevator, I'm thinking, oh my God, if it happens right now. In China, they had melons in earthquake zones in the past to have clean liquid to drink. Oh, interesting. Okay. Lots of smoke in the Okanagan. Lucy, yes. I mean, those fires are crazy, and I think it's still growing, right? Vernon, that looks really, really bad. So poor people. And I've seen people that I know, friends of mine, their equestrian centers burned down in the US, in Canada. It's just heartbreaking. Yeah, Racer, nobody has an idea what's actually going on. Yeah, that might be the truth. Absolutely. Hey, Admiral, say hi. So these fires are unnatural disasters. They can be. Yeah. You know, let's discuss this. What are the causes? To me, from what I've seen, because I'm driving around in these areas that are burning right now, I've spent a lot of time there. To me, is before even these fires started, what they plant there, the monoculture, the dry trees, all the debris that is lying around there, logs, dead trees, it was blowing my mind. So that is kind of what I think is a big, big factor. And then I'm thinking, you know, maybe have better preparation, not only in how to extinguish these fires, but not let them start in the first place. Forest management, but also get more equipment. The guy that I know with his ranch in Canada was completely alone. No help, nothing, nobody to give him any support to save the structures or anything. Also, no air support to extinguish the fires. I've seen ranchers, beef ranchers in Oregon that I follow. They had to do this all by themselves with dozers. days without sleep, the wife, the husband, friends and family trying to fight for their livelihood, to extinguish these fires, to build fire barriers whenever there was ember, extinguish the ember so that they could save their buildings. And now they're left with burned land, no grass to feed their cattle. It's heartbreaking what's happening there, right? So these people need help. They need help now, financial help, because many of them can't even insure their buildings, either because the buildings are too old or they're in a, you know how insurance are. If you had a flooding there, oh, you're not getting flood insurance. There's a big earthquake zone, earthquake insurance, fire insurance, stuff like that. Oh yeah, you said you like the study that I showed what not to have around your house. Yeah, this is interesting. Bark mulch. Do not put bark mulch to the walls of your house because that shit gets dry and then it burns if embers coming. So that was one that surprised me, but it's logical. Now you hear Eddie is growling at Rudy. So yeah, there's lots going on, and it's heartbreaking to see people lose everything, lose their homes. I mean, I can't imagine, all your valuables, but more important,